So I want to run through a quick tutorial and show you how I go from this color image here, which is straight out of Adobe Camera Raw, a few adjustments here and there, to this very contrasty 3D style image using a black and white layer. So basically what I do is I start by making my mask. So you can see here, I've got buildings, got sky blacked out, I've got my sky, buildings blacked out, I've got buildings optimized. So what this one does is if I zoom in here, so you can see, zoom in even more, see how the edge is kind of fuzzy? And if I go to the building, see how it's very sharp? So whenever you're making masks, you want to make sure that you blur the edge. Basically just go into, like if I was to make a copy of this, just make a curves adjustment layer, hit this and see the select and mask. So you go into this and then now you can, so basically what I do is I shift my edge and then I feather it, and that's about it. So it's pretty basic and simple on how you get the little blurry edge. That way you don't have such a hard edge and it just blends that much better, especially if you're doing black and whites. So what we'll do, so I've got, you can see here, building, sky, buildings optimized, and then a lights 2 luminosity mask, and then a darks 5 luminosity mask, and those may change as I run through this. So what we want to do, let's just start on the color layer here, and then so for my black and white images, I like to use this Artisan Pro X 2021. It's the latest version. It makes things very simple, very easy, just by hitting some buttons. And then for my masking, I use Quick Mask. It's got, you know, your base mask. This is based on your histogram here. So that makes that easy. And then, but like I said, for the black and white conversion, I always use this because you have so many things you can do. Creating depth, you got it's unbelievable what this program does. So basically what I'll do is I'll start here, just do a neutral black and white, and then let's see it. I want to put that underneath that layer. So black and white. So biggest thing when you're doing this, you want to leave the sky alone. I found whenever I try and do the sky black and white and blend that in, it becomes this ugly dark blue color for a sky, and it just looks bad. So what we'll do here is we'll do the buildings optimized. Then we'll just make a mask for this. Now you can see the sky has the color in it. Again, it's just the buildings that are black and white now. So from here, I want to make just a merged layer, and I can get rid of this one. And then from here, make a copy of this just so I have that as a base layer. So what I want to do is, basically make this very black and very white. And so what we'll do is we'll go load selection, go to buildings optimized, hit new. So now it's just the buildings. Then we can load another selection. So let's go ahead and load the lights 2 copy, and we want to intersect it with the sky, or with the buildings, because this way it won't affect all the buildings. It'll only affect the light section inside the building mask. So we're going to hit that, and what we'll do is go down to global adjustments, or Pro Tools here, and then you can just use normal adjustments, which is basically like using the normal mode on a pen tool or a brush or whatever. Or selective adjustments is similar to using like the overlay mode. So we'll just start out with the normal adjustments. Since we're on the lights, we want to lighten everything. So we'll do is we'll just start hitting that and just kind of keep doing it as many times as we need to. So you can see, so that really brightened up the lights. So I think we're good on that. Now I'll deselect that. And then since that's how I want it, that's how I started, I can just go ahead and merge this layer down. And I just want to make another copy of this, just to make sure I don't screw up this, this layer. So if I can just delete this layer and start over again. So we want to do basically the same thing. I want to load the selection. I want to load the buildings optimized. Hit OK. Then load selection. I want to go to darks 5 copy, intersect. Hit OK. Now I'll hit the D3 or D4. So if you just go D4, it was really darkened down all those, basically the dark sections of the image. And this is, the more you do this, the more you get that 3D kind of very contrast looking image. So if we deselect this, I think that's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and merge this layer down. So now, deselect it again. So now you can see we're on top of the color image. And now it's very simple. All you do is change blend mode to luminosity. And then you're done. Now you can see the difference here. So that's from camera raw, and this is with the black and white layer. Oh, I actually got it pretty close. So it's a very simple thing to do. The hard part is making your masks, but once you get the buildings or the sky, you can just invert, to get the other one. And then, like I said, just use luminosity masks. So like if I wanted to make more luminosity masks, I'd just be on the color layer here, and let's say, let's try the lights luminosity masks. Now they all popped up down here. Lights 1, lights 2 gets even more selective. Lights 3 gets really selective. And then you just pick the one that you want. One thing that I like about this Artisan Pro X is it has full luminosity masks, half luminosity masks. So now we can go here. Okay, now lights 1 was too light, but lights 2 is too dark. There's lights 1.5 or lights 2.5. And it's the same thing in the darks. They have all the same adjustment. Then you just hit the minus lights and they all disappear. And then, but the new version of Artisan Pro X has quarter luminosity masks, which gets even more technical. So you have lights 1.75, lights 2.25, 2.75, 3. So yeah, it's very, very precise on what you want. And like I say, you just hit the minus lights or the minus darks and it deletes, because you don't want all those layers in your file, because your file just gets bigger. So like I said, it's a very simple process, but the hardest part is getting all your masks done. So, definitely spend the time to do that. In fact, let me show you a quick and dirty thing. Let me see if I can actually get this to work here. So if we go to layers, we're on that layer. So just a base mask, you can see we're kind of in the middle here. So let's go low, mid, base mask and see what happens here. So it's working. So it created these 3 down here. So, and this is how it starts out. See, the sky is almost all black. Buildings are mostly white. Low, mid 2, that gets even more white. Low, mid 3. But you're starting to get kind of light around the edges. So I think I start out with this low, mid 1. So I'll just go ahead and delete the 2 and the 3 here, because we don't need those. And then it's basically, if you zoom in, so it's pretty slick the way this stuff works. I'm going to deselect that. So what I'll do is I'll just say use like a marquee tool, and we just want to select this area here. So let's zoom out a little bit. In fact, we can just, oops, what am I doing? There we go. So you can see, let's say I just want to select the top of this building. I got my marquee tool. So let's just start doing something like this, right? Just basic, simple. We don't want to feather that at all. So let's just go down to 0. So I'll redo that so I don't have any feathering. So let's go ahead and start. Something like that. Now all you do is go down to the quick refine mask. And the more times you hit these buttons, the more you're going to degrade your edges. So you want to start out like really. So what I usually do is I'll go strong white, and that you can see almost everything that went white inside the building. And then strong black. Done. You have to clean up little stuff like this, but it makes it so easy. Same thing with this. Let's say you want to do this here. Obviously, like you see how this is really dark here. You're gonna have some issues there that you have to just clean it by hand really fast. But it's a building; it's a straight edge. Now, same thing. Let's go strong white. Kind of whitens all the edges, and then strong black darkens everything around there. And if you zoom in, See, it does a pretty good job. Like I said, that's why you want to feather your edges. Otherwise, that just doesn't look right when you try and blend anything or, do anything like that. So, or if you even wanted to, you just start out with this and just hit, without doing the marquee tool, and just go strong white. Let's do it once more. Good enough. And then strong black, and then done. All your edges are done. Obviously, like I said, you're going to have to clean up all this kind of stuff by hand, but that's just part of making masks. But you can see how well it did around the tree, which, there are ways you can define the tree better. I'm not going to go through those today. But, then from here, you can just see just like your brush tool. And then you want the white mask, normal, 100% opacity. I just make a big brush here, and I just kind of start painting in, just kind of get the majority of it. And then from here, I'll go in and, really define my edges, make sure everything's good. Just make your brush much smaller, and zoom in. So something like this edge here, you can just like hit there, then hold the shift key, move it down. I'll make that straight line there. You can just keep running down the buildings. So masking can take time, but it's well worth doing it right the first time. It'll just turn out so much better. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one here. So as you can see, very simple, very contrasty. I really like the look. In fact, let me open up a couple more images here, and I'll show you what some of the other images look like that I've done. It doesn't work on all images. I've tried it on like landscape images, and it just really didn't work out very well. But it works very well on cityscapes, things like that. So it's a good tool to use. I think, anyways. I like the look. Okay, so now that we're open back up, this is a panorama image that I took of downtown Seattle. And same thing, basically what I do is like, this will be the main image here, and then I'll save it, and then, because this will have all my masks and everything, but you can see here I've deleted all my masks. And then I'll make adjustments, and then I'll save it as another name. I'll be like Seattle Panel Black and White Blend 1. And then that one I'll delete all the masks from, and I'll take the mask from the original image. That way it keeps my file smaller. Just that one image has all the masks. So again, I did a curves adjustment. Actually, no, I just did the black and white image. That's right, you can see here, put the mask over it. It's because I didn't want the sky done, because like I said, it turns really ugly blue. And then this is the final result. So you can see how it went from kind of a gray, kind of an uncontrasty image to a very sharp 3D looking image. And then what I did, so the cool thing about this Artisan Pro X is it has this color grading here, and you just click on any one of these, and you can see I think it was the Godfather on this one, and you can see how it changed the color. But it makes it really easy. If I want to do it again, let's say I want Prometheus 1. Just click on that, and it'll just change the color all by itself. So, not a lot of work on your part. But you can see, I don't really like it, kind of blue, but you can always turn the opacity down. But like I said, that one's just a little too blue for me. So let's get rid of that. But you can see there's 20 or so ones you can choose from, all different colors. But like I said, I really like the Godfather one. That's what I use here. So anyway, that's just a quick tutorial on how to use a black and white image blended onto a color image to make a very 3D high contrast image without using the contrast slider and kind of ruining kind of everything. That's a quick tutorial on how to go from color image to black and white with the black and white layer. Like I said, what it does for this one, I really like it. You know, really 3D looking, kind of more contrast than just making a bunch of contrast adjustments. You know, it's just a very simple, easy way. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, however that thing works. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.